The American government has started legal proceedings against the social networking site Twitter to obtain the personal details of people connected to WikiLeaks. Among the targets, the WikiLeaks founder, Julian Assange, and an Icelandic MP who has told this programme she will fight the court order. The US is examining possible charges against Mr. Assange after he published leaked classified diplomatic memos. In a moment, we'll be speaking to his lawyer. But first, here's our Home Affairs correspondent, Andy Davis.
Revealed today the latest efforts of the US government to build a case against Julian Assange, the hugely controversial WikiLeaks founder. Prominent Republican politicians in America have been clamouring for him to be prosecuted following his website's publication of thousands of classified documents. Now the American investigation has delved into the world of Twitter, the increasingly influential social network in which people communicate with one another using short messages or tweets, either in private or, as on this page, in public. It's been disclosed that San Francisco-based Twitter received this court order from a district court in Virginia on the 14th of December. It demands records deemed relevant and material to an ongoing criminal investigation. It then highlights 7 customer accounts, including those of Julian Assange and the soldier who's accused of supplying WikiLeaks with secret US military and diplomatic documents, Bradley Manning. The subpoena says Twitter is to hand over their usernames, screen names, mailing addresses, records of session times, billing records and correspondence. Just about anything they've done on the network, it seems, since the 1st of November 2009. This court order was intended originally to have been kept completely secret. In fact, it actually orders Twitter to say nothing about its existence, even to those whose accounts were being targeted. But Twitter reportedly challenged that, and 3 days ago the court produced a new order allowing the network to reveal what had been going on. And one of the first to find out was an MP in Iceland. Birgitta Jónsdóttir, also named on the subpoena and whose details the US authorities want. An MP campaigning for press freedom, she's also a WikiLeaks contributor and co-produced their so-called collateral murder video. It revealed footage shot from a US helicopter of the killing of a group of Iraqi men, including 2 employees of the news agency Reuters. From her home in Reykjavik today, she told us that she had 9 days to appeal against the court order.
I found out that Twitter was was asked to hand over my records at 7:30 last night. I of course did. My first thing was to tweet about it, and from that, I've had a wave of support and inquiries about this. Currently, I have decided to deal with this in 2 ways. One is to deal with it through the US legal system, and of course to deal with this on a more diplomatic level in Iceland with the Ministers of Justice and Foreign Affairs and of course the Speaker of the House for the Parliament.
The people behind Twitter would comment only briefly today to say that it's their policy to notify users about governmental requests for their information. Julian Assange was unavailable for comment. He's still in Norfolk on bail, fighting an attempt by the Swedish authorities to extradite him to face allegations of sexual assault. But a colleague described the developments as outrageous, a view shared today by some at this online campaigning conference in London.
It's legal for the US government to do that, but I think it's an outrage because it really shows that a lot of communication is being spied on by the government, nothing is really, private.
The people behind WikiLeaks are not exactly paragons of virtue when it comes to having regard for private information, especially if belonging to a government. But today's developments raise questions about how much further this American investigation into Julian Assange has gone. Have other court orders gone out to organisations like Google and Facebook, for instance, which have remained secret? Facebook today declined to comment.